There's an interesting concept, and Gartner gave this presentation recently that said, if you want to start to see more high-performing talent within your organization group, there's really three things that you got to start to offer your team. And I'd love to get your opinion on these three things. So the first is radical flexibility, which is the ability, what we're talking about now, hybrid workspace, which is your ability to do your work when you want, where you want, how you want. Now, technology companies have been doing this for a while, specifically with their development groups, with like the coders, which is like, you want to work at 3 o'clock in the morning. I just need you hitting your milestones along the way. And it's an easy way to manage the performance. But radical flexibility now, and while I think it's a great concept, you could start to see where sometimes it might be jeopardizing to the relational dynamics of the team, right? For different, okay, but radical flexibility. The second is deeper connection, which is, we need to feel connected, right? We need to identify and have the same beliefs or values in some capacity, right? And not like sexual intimacy, but like social intimacy, friendship. Like there's a closeness, right? That we understand each other. And the third was shared purpose, which has been around for a long time, but I think is even more important in today's world, which is Simon Sinek's talking about the golden circle of why, Jerry Wright's book of the story of purpose, which I'm actually in the midst of reading, which is a fantastic book, but talks about shared purpose. Are we driving for the same why? Do we get out of the same bed? So tell me what your thoughts are on those three things and why you think maybe they are important and what we can do to achieve them in our teams.
Yeah, the radical flexibility one is interesting, right? And I think it depends completely on the work that is being done in the organization. So you mentioned, in tech companies, their software engineers have had great flexibility for quite a long time. And they certainly, most of those organizations have said it will be flexible indefinitely. Like they haven't been able to say, you have to be, what did Google say? Flexible and change or something like that. They had two keywords. That really helps to set the stage for going forward. So I think that is a conversation at the organizational level. I work with an organization where they have scientists that need to be in the lab. They literally can't do their job from home. So, right, it's like, okay, who needs to be in the lab when? And then when also do we need to your second point, deeper connection? Can we go indefinitely having some people working from home and some being at the office, or is that going to build disconnection? One of the individuals at this company said, we're riding the coattails of a great culture, but that's not going to last if some people are at home and some people are at the office. So it's, how I think we have to almost combine those two. And I love that radical flexibility and deeper connection. What does that look like? So what decisions do we want to make organizationally that address both those needs? And I think we can do both. I just think it's going to be a bit messy getting to the ideal scenario and then attracting the best talent, right? Because depending on how you approach both of those things, how are you going to get the best people on the team? It's not going to be, it's going to be another part of the recruiting process is, are you looking for great flexibility or are you looking to always be together as a team? And that might not always be consistent. Look, the third one, sorry, go ahead.
No, jump on in, keep going.
No, the third part I love, and I've loved that since Jim Collins' days, right? Like let's be sure we know what our purpose is and that it's enduring. Even if we were 100 years into this organization, we'd still share this purpose, and that alone is going to get us through tough stuff because we're all aligned behind this purpose. So yeah, I love anything that's vision oriented, and I think it really can rally and inspire an organization.
Would you maybe agree that creating this, having a purpose, defining the purpose, creating that shared purpose, maybe the one most important thing to do for our teams this year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't given it any thought, but my gut reaction is, oh yeah. Even just talking about it can get people really emotionally engaged, right? It's a motivator, gets you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, if you want to attract talent, you were talking about, talent acquisition and attracting talent. A lot of that has to do with the purpose of the organization. Organizations that do this very well, it's part of their interview. Let us tell you what our purpose is and how does that purpose fit with yours? And yeah, this is how they're doing business together, right? Hey, we would like to work with you B2B and let's tell you a little bit about our purpose and does it align with yours? So I think it's a very important exercise for us as leaders and business owners to work and spend some time really, really investing in the purpose. And that's going to include bumping up against people as well, because they might have different purposes. Hey, right? So Yeah. And then
Yeah.
back.
And by the way, I would add to that also the values. I think the values exercise that you do with an organization is really powerful because people self-select into an organization because their values align with it. And yet they might not have articulated it, and articulating it and pulling out like who are the people on this team and what are their personal values. Well, all that rolls up to, okay, it's aligned with usually the organization's values, and stating that out loud. That's where I think people recruiting wise will say, oh, wow, this organization really aligns with my values. Even if I didn't really know, I hadn't really articulated myself, this is what I care about. When I read this, it feels right.